Okay, let's go. Let's go live. Well, hello, everybody. I've missed you. I saw you last Friday, right? Before I went to Las Vegas. What a whirlwind my life has become that's taken me from the lights of the Las Vegas Strip and whisked me away to the glitz and the glamour that is Lafayette, Indiana, home of the national championship losing Purdue Boilermakers. What's a Boilermaker? I know it's some kind of an alcoholic drink, but yeah, happy to see you guys. Kevin, not much to tell. So, first off, again, I just realized, excuse me, I didn't, I didn't light the candles. Got the Burns-O-Matic here, so we'll pop this on right quick. We'll not stand up. I know this is just riveting, right? This is what people want to see, is a guy lighting a candle. That's done. I just got done eating a Cuban sandwich, and this is I don't know. It's not gonna. Don't focus on me. There we go. Gardenia scented candle. I don't know where it's from, but it came from my family, right? Like Plan 9 came from outer space. No, it came from my family. Someone somewhere bought it along the way. But we're back. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Kevin. Nothing crazy happened. I was there with my family, with my wife and kids. We saw Social Distortion and Bad Religion at the Virgin Theater. We went to the Punk Rock Museum where I got this sticker. Please, camera focus. Hey, there we go. We got a punk rock sticker from that I still have to put on my beer fridge. And then we went to Meow Wolf's Omega Mart. Kids loved it. I enjoyed Omega Mart. If you don't know what it is, I don't know. You're going to have to Google it. We don't have time. This is not the time. This is not the place to explain these kind of things to you people. You want to hear the stock that we just hit 100 shares of in the taxable brokerage account. We'll keep you in suspense for just a minute. You're going to have to take a wild guess. I don't know if there's any kind of clues anywhere that you can see around the screen that you're currently watching on. I do want to say, shout out to Zoe. You emailed me and said that the ads were a little bit obtrusive, so I dialed it down. I'm going to get a few pennies from this. Hey, we're bringing you the entertainment. We're bringing you the fun, the glamour, the glitz, everything that is the Dapper Dividends sphere of, I don't know what you call it, dividendtainment maybe? I don't know. But Zoe, I scaled back. I let YouTube insert the ads that you'll see, but I told it to do it conservatively, where it said lower earnings potential, improved viewer experience. So you, the viewer, I'm doing this for you because this is a hobby for me. I don't do it full time like Mr. Ryan Williams, who we did get to meet up with. We shared that picture. I don't know if you all saw it, but yeah, it was a good time. So we're back. I got to visit New York, and buy my daughter some pizza from there. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, we talked about it in the one prior to today's. So it was, oh, Jim, nice. So first off, hey, Lisa. What's up, Lisa? It's been a minute. I haven't seen your channel in a while. That's on me. But I've been really, really bad with watching YouTube channels, investing space. But I did watch Conan O'Brien Hot Ones. You got to see it. It's just fantastic. You got to see that. Matt, telling you you're gonna mute the ads, so you just hit skip. The way I look at it, like Lisa, she's a creator. Check out her channel too. We're doing this for free, right? For you, and all you have to do is just watch a 5-second ad and then hit the skip button. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but my God, people. Back in the day, 150 years ago, if I wanted to take my family to Vegas, it probably would have taken 2 to 3 weeks to get out that way, one direction. Food might have ran out. We might have encountered hostile natives, and we may have lost somebody along the way. I may not have made it. I may have died of dysentery along the way. Shout out if you know what that is from, what that reference is from. And yeah, I don't know. Am I really a giant? This guy's 6'4". I'm 6'4", and dude, I'm thin. I've been thin my whole life. But anyway, so not that you care about that, but if you haven't noticed this, now I was driving home from good old Lafayette, Indiana, and fine town, fine town, Lafayette, Indiana. It is. It's still there. I can report to you, for all of you that are waiting on bated breath, Lafayette, Indiana is indeed still there. They've got running water, electricity, and a sports bar called Big League that we went to. Anyway, some of the volleyball parents. But now we're done with that. You guys are kind of caught up. I decided I'm just going to start calling these the weekend communion. Why? Because we do have our little weekend communion here. I really do look forward to this. You know, I get all jazzed up. I get my tea, my Aldi tea. Mind you, if you don't shop at Aldi, you know, you might want to check it out. I hope you have an Aldi. Some of you on the East Coast. By the way, tomorrow morning is going to be dropping. I don't know if that's correct English or not. But we don't care. Why? Because it's my show. I'll say whatever the hell I want to say on this show. But I did a podcast on Money Happy Hour with Tom, the savings captain. So that those of you that know him, cool. Those of you that don't, you can just wait for my podcast because it's been a busy couple of weeks here around this place. So I'm going to just skinch off and download his and then upload it with his permission, of course, as my podcast, probably tomorrow evening or something like that. So what I did by Lisa, yeah, the Western's like 1883. I do believe I saw a billboard for that, or not a billboard, but an ad. I don't know. It is a billboard, right? If you're seeing it on an ad, it is a billboard. So, hey, for the 53 of you that are here, welcome in, and we're going to look at my portfolio really quick here. I know that, oh, Lisa, nice. You go to Aldi. So this is going to be a little more free-flowing. I'm just going to have, again, a really low-key, quick thing, and we'll just talk. But, you know, I don't know, you want to talk about what's going on in the Middle East? It's same old, if you ask me. But yes, I understand it's a little different because now you have a bigger country. I was going to say a bigger name, but Iran, right? Attacking a country we support. But anyway, you know, whether you agree or not, it looks like the futures are green from what I read. I saw a Wall Street Journal thing pop up. And yeah, I was thinking Lockheed Martin might get a boost, but some of the defense stocks, Raytheon, L3 Harris, things of that nature, Huntington Ingalls, right? They do a lot of Navy stuff. So they might, but you know, we'll look, Matt. I don't know. I don't track this stuff as well as I should have, like Mr. Williams does, who, by the way, yeah, I'm probably a little on the taller side. He's probably a little on the shorter side, you know, not kind of like a Laurel and Hardy combo team. Does anybody even know who Laurel and Hardy is? And Laurel and Hardy is anymore? I don't know. They were back in the day. Oh, dude, that's right. Rick Gilbert, you work for Aldi, man. What is your favorite thing to buy at Aldi? What is one tip that you can share with the class for everybody? That's a tip for Aldi, for those of you that do shop there. And while you're putting that in there, I am going to go and show you, as SCHD Stan, our friend Craig from Florida, calls it. Oh, you got Jim Betts there. He was watching Laurel and Hardy at the talkies. He was going nickel for 2 films in an evening. You take your date, you get 2 films, you get your popcorn, and you watch Laurel and Hardy. Okay, here we go with the portfolio dividend porn, I guess they call it, right? Or whatever he calls it. Let's look. Come along, everybody. Come with me. Oh, hey, why don't we just start it off with news, since I'm right here anyway? But it is Johnson & Johnson. There we go. You guessed it. You saw it on my shirt. It's good old J&J. And, you know, for those of you that may want to invest, Simply Safe Dividends is where we're looking at here. They put out they reaffirmed their dividend safety score of 99, very safe. And I'll just skim through this very short article real quick. So if you're watching on the replay, you can pause it. You can read this little write-up of their opinion for free. But they did just recap how they're acquiring Shockwave Medical. And so we can get our terminology right. Shockwave is a leader in intravascular lithotripsy technology. And what that sounds to me like what they do is they use sound waves to blast apart calcified coronary artery and peripheral artery disease. So helping people, kind of like what they do with kidney stones, right? They just shoot sound waves and blast apart that kidney stone, and then your body your body gets rid of it. We'll put it that way in case anybody else is eating up there. But yeah, interestingly, Shockwave had 50% growth in 2023. And again, we'll just skim through this real quick, but they paid cash mostly for this, so it's going to dilute their earnings for a little bit, but it should be accretive in the long run. And it should help them grow into a burgeoning market, right? Getting one of the leaders. So I kind of like it. And I don't really think they just said anything more. They did lower the outlook because it used about half of their cash balance. But I think that as a triple A, they still have a better credit rating. I think it's right. Microsoft and Johnson & Johnson have a better credit rating than the United States government, which is crazy because as far as I'm understanding, J&J and Microsoft can't print cash like the government does. So, I don't know how the government will never default on its debt. They'll just print money. And J&J and I'm pretty sure Microsoft cannot do that. So there it is. Microsoft being the other, everybody. So if you would have just read it, you some of gum. Anyway, that was all. So they like it. They say it's not going to do anything much. There's still the big elephant in the room of the talcum powder, the asbestos found in the talc, the baby powder. And yeah, the Wall Street Journal expects it to be 10 to 15 billion. It'll be paid out over several years. I think correct me if I'm wrong, anybody watching, you want to run a Google search, test my memory here, but I think the opioid payouts that they had to do as part of that settlement, I think some of those are even going as long as 20 years. So J&J can easily handle that, and there you go. So that's a little bit for J&J, and then a quick little bit more rundown of the news. And I saw somebody did mention something with MPW, but first, Agree Realty still buying more shares. I think 7 shares I bought last week. Raised their dividend 1.2%. They do pay that monthly. So that is a 5.34% yield. We'll just keep blowing through these. They refresh their outlook on Dominion Energy. I don't own them. Procter & Gamble, good old P&G, raised their dividend 7%. Look, you want to play a fun drinking game? Go in your bathroom and look through all the products, and every time you find a product that has that P&G logo, take a drink. It's going to be a lot. And as I've said, man, they have so many products in so many people's houses, especially in the United States. Sometimes I have to check my kids to see if I'm in some kind of dystopian alternate reality where they indeed have the P&G logo on them, and I'm proud to report that they currently do not. Tangier, my guy from Dividend Talk, Engineer My Freedom, had once upon a time sold this. I remember him talking about Tangier, which, interesting ticker, SKT. They do malls, right? Retail outlet malls, kind of like a Simon Property Group. Raised their dividend 5.8%. And there's the big one. MPW, they downgraded from 20 very unsafe to an even lower bucket of 10 very unsafe. And well, I guess we'll blow through this one too in case any of you, I didn't even read this, but it has something to do with Steward, which I think is their biggest tenant. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this. If you want to just pause the video and read what they had to say, feel free, everybody. But I guess the Wall Street Journal published a scathing review of Steward. So maybe you can find that article, and I don't know. I'm not going to invest, so this just doesn't do anything for me. I don't care. Yeah, and they say if they were shareholders, we'd dump the stock and move on to more promising opportunities. It's likely to take years for their turnaround to play out. And if you wanted alternatives that are investment grade, they would consider Ares Capital, ARCC, and 6th Street. My God, that's You know, she sells by the seashore, right? Sixth Street Specialty Lending, TSLX. And that's that. And I think, what do we have? One more, I think, for the little bit of newsy news here. Oh, yeah, Costco. Good old Costco raised their dividend 14%. We can get into them a little bit later. Still like them. And they refreshed their outlook on the healthcare REIT Ventas. So that is some of that. And then the portfolios, as far as this month, I don't know if I can break that down, but how much I'm going to get. But this is the combined portfolio. This is not our entire net worth, not the whole shebang. We've got it in 401ks that are with through my work and other investment vehicles. But what we share on the channel here are the three portfolios. Portfolio. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of consolidating, selling, moving things around. And to go quickly here, we have still zoomed in. There we go. So the J&J is now, well, this is going to be combined, but we're at 100 shares in the taxable. And it's our number third. So 110 total, 100 in the taxable. And it's our third largest position, just ahead of SCHD. And we are, I think, down. Yeah, we're down 2% because it's been falling. And we can talk a little bit about J&J a little bit more. But, you know, again, you can pause it. We're not going to do a full-blown portfolio review. We'll save that for the end of the month. But, yes, EPD is one I'd like to buy more of. And I can't see your guys' comments here because it's the way it's set up. So I'm going to get to, this is the non-dividend one, Harrow Health, ticker HROW. The owner, Mark Baum, the founder, CEO, very interesting dude. And I wonder if someday that when they get big enough, I think they will pay a dividend. Harrow Inc. I said Harrow Health. They changed their name a little bit ago. And we still have $4,000 of cash left to deploy, 2.6%. But some of that may be going toward a car. But here, let's see how much of that's in my taxable real quick. So to do that, you have to go to this. They let you, there, the bridge. So in the bridge, loading. Thank you, my goodness. The power of live, everybody. Here we go. Yeah, Leggett and Platt. I might be selling them just to get more cash, but yeah, we're down to $3,000. So the bulk of that is in the taxable here, and the old. Let's see if percent of the account. Next Star, PepsiCo, J&J. So we got three very top heavy ones, and again, it's not our overall everything. So there you go. That, and I want to talk to you guys. So it drives me crazy. I wish there was a better way to do that because I want to hear what you're saying. I want to talk to you. I want to just get on the same wavelength as you and hear what you're buying. What do you think of this market dropping? Do you think we're going to open up lower tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen with this market, huh? Yeah, Shamir, it's funny. I know we talked about the bear porn, and that was my way of trying to, I don't know, not frustration, just like Graham Stephan is probably the king of doing the bear porn, but it's been around for eons. If it bleeds, it leads. That's bear porn. People are just so fascinated by hearing about all the things that are going wrong. Nobody wants to hear about the blue skies. It's going to be sunny and blue sky. No, people want to hear about destruction, bombs falling, all kinds of crazy stuff. So that is... all right, so where do we leave off? I believe we had asked Rick what good is at Aldi. You know, you can fumble through words. You don't have to say the words proper like they gave you in the schooling, okay? So Rick says they have incredible chocolate. There you go. Thank you, Rick. Kevin read the Hardy Boys books. Didn't South Park do something on that? Weren't they the Hardly Boys with the Raging Clues? I think so, right? They had Raging Clues. We've got a Raging Clue, everybody. They got cheap roses at Aldi. See, these are the kind of tips you get here. We don't just pay the financial dividends. We pay the dividends that are going to save you money at the grocery store, right? Bob, J&J does not, I believe, have a very high payout. Let's look at that real quick, Mr. Bob. I'm going to look and see if you are indeed right. I don't believe they do. I think it's still pretty low. Come on, open up. Open up. All right, here we go. We'll just go through this. Good point. Real fast here. And look at that dividend growth. Okay, this is just insane. Their dividend growth. That almost looks manipulated. That almost looks fake. That they just grow it that that's like, well, let's not put the idea in the universe's mind, but that reminds me of the very fun time you have on a roller coaster when it's going up, right? So 61 years of growth, 108 years uninterrupted, and they are about getting ready to announce a dividend. They have earnings on Tuesday, the 16th, which I'll be also doing a YouTube video with Mr. Kanwal Sarai on his YouTube channel talking some dividend investing, because what else, you know? But it looks like J&J will be raising that dividend, and they'll probably announce it on Tuesday. So probably 6-7%, something like that. I'd be surprised if it was anything more. But yeah, that yield is just, what, 19% above the 5-year average. So really good. PE is low. They're almost at the low end of the 52-week range. But here we go to, yes, your free cash flow payout ratio. So Bob, I do stand corrected. We like to look at free cash flow payout ratio a little bit more than earnings, because earnings can be manipulated and distorted and financially engineered by buybacks and things of that nature. And free cash flow, that's what the dividend is paid out from. So yeah, 68-67%. That's been a little high. That's still okay. That's toward my high end of the range of safe, but quite honestly, it should start coming down. So we'll see if it does that. But it's just such a solid company, and I know we've been spoiled with the Magnificent Seven just driving the S&P 500 the last 7, 8, 9 years. But J&J is still. Maybe we can look up the ETF or dividend channel, the calculator I talked about in a little bit. But yeah, some of their numbers just really good. Yeah, you get a few pockets there of sales growth where it's down. Shares outstanding, 2.56 billion. It may look like a lot, but they've split quite a few times throughout the years. And yeah, sales, nothing crazy, but I think they might be growing faster now that they shedded Kenvue. But we shall see. But yeah, margins just fantastic, real big, nice margins, and their net debt is only 10%, and their ICR 30-65, just solid. Honestly, that means, so if you don't know, if you just plopped in, the interest coverage ratio that we're looking at here on the bottom left is saying that J&J has $30.65 of operating income to easily cover every $1 of interest expense. So just a fantastic ratio. So yeah, it's a little bit high payout ratio, Bob, but I think it's going to come down. Oh, look at this guy, Zamin Ali. I don't think we've met before, but dude, you've got Popeye the Sailor Man, and as any good sailor knows, he has one of my favorite quotes, and he says, and this is me, as I go on with Mr. Sarai on Tuesday, he's a little more serious, and I'm obviously a little more, loosey-goosey, so I think, in the words of that great Stoic philosopher Popeye, I am what I am. So that's what I have to remember. I am what I am, and where is it? I don't even know anymore. Look, I got an anchor on. Okay, fuzz it out, right? Here. I give up. It's going to focus on him. There we go. It's getting faded, but hey, Popeye and I both have anchors on our body. Except his on his forearm. So anyway, so that's what you get her on this show. Zamin, thank you from Phoenix, and I enjoy that you're enjoying the channel, and I enjoy hearing that you're watching and enjoying the channel. That's a little bit of a mind F for you, yeah? So, Phoenix, I need to get out there. I've only been to Arizona one time, and it was to the bustling metropolis of Yuma, Arizona. Way back in the 1990s. So, Shamir, we've addressed your bear porn. Nah, not really. But maybe MPW. You could spin that into some bear porn. Ah, Paulo. So you had them blast it. Do you feel it? How do they do that? Do they knock you out? Do they just shoot the shockwaves into your kidney? How does that? I would be afraid of that. Oh, what's up, Longacres, man? I listen to your podcast. Yeah, and I didn't know that you were another Chicagoan. Are you? I don't know. You're anonymous. Are you in the area? Can you say? Oh no. You wait. You stooped or stopped watching Bloodsport? Oh, dude. Kumite. Bolo Young is in Bloodsport. Bolo Young with the, when he's fighting him. Oh, who did they have in there? They had Ogre. Ogre was the American guy. Oh, he got beat. They had the little monkey, the fighting style, the little guy that was like a monkey guy. What a great movie from our friend Jean-Claude Van Damme. Just awful storyline, horrible storyline, but what a great movie. And then that song at the end, Kumite, Kumite. Okay, yeah, I know. I'm a kid of the '80s. That was a fun one. There you go. Thanks for sharing that, Shamir. That the settlement between the government and Tibet. Right. People are like, man, this guy has some obscure B movie pop culture references and things like that. But yeah, it's not all at once. I think a lot of people, retail investors especially, might hear, oh my God, J&J will have to pay $15 billion. Yeah, over like 10, 15, 20 years. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. I think this is in response to, and I'm gonna get caught up, but Shamir, I think you're doing some mouthwash or Pepto. Hey, drink them at the same time. Get crazy, get a little wild. If anybody out there, if you want an adventure, try telling the truth. That'll give you an adventure. P&G still your fourth largest holding. Yeah, I'm just comfortable having exposure to them in our mutual funds, things like that. But yeah, dude, so cool to see you on here, Mr. Longacres. That's awesome. And some YouTubers will be loading the boat even more in MPW. You mean as in buying or making videos? Because I'm sure. Oh, was he? Yeah, dude. And you know what? This is great. This is a great reminder, Jim, that we're just people. Nobody on YouTube, nobody in the world for that matter, can definitively tell you what is going to happen with anything in the future. Why? Because there are trillions of possibilities affecting the outcome of trillions of. Right. I think I said that wrong. You could see like the people were like, is it smoke out of his ears? He's saying. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Trillions of outcomes can be affected by trillions of possibilities. That feels more right. That felt nicer. So, yeah, nobody knows what's going to happen, and hey, that's why. That's why we say always expect the unexpected. So when the unexpected does happen, you can say, "Hey, look at you, unexpected. I've been expecting you." And you will look, that's some badassery right there if you can tell the world that you've been expecting the unexpected. It's kind of like Neo in the Matrix type stuff, yeah? Gonna buy 3M and T. Kevin, why are you doing that still? 3M, I'd be more up on 3M than AT&T. I mean, you don't need us to run that comparison chart, do you, again? But honestly, man, it's your... if that's what you're comfortable with, and like I don't think I got to finish what I started saying, that Joseph Hogue, Joseph Carlson, myself, Ryan, anybody, and I think they would all tell you this. It's just our opinions, man. Just nobody has. We may look at this a little more than some other people because some of us are lunatics and we're doing this in our spare time anyway, quite a bit. But I love it, and nobody knows what's going to happen. So, hey, what's up, Gunny? This is Gunny. We did a video not too long ago. Do you choose ARCC over Main? Honestly, I would probably do Main Street. They're very similar, but I just think Main is a little bit. I think their tenants are a little bit, or not tenants. The customers that they're making their loans to, I think, are a little bit stronger. But I mean, they're both so very similar. And let's see, I think what did they give him just for the fun of it on to share all those? I know Gunny, I know you have Simply Safe, but just for the fun of it, let's see what Main and ARCC is. Oh, we could compare the two. So Main Street gets 62 safe, 6.14%, and Aries Capital has 59, 9.47. But what if we do a fun little thing here? Here we go. There's my little thing. How about we do backtest? I'm drawing a blank here. Dividend channel. The returns calculator. So I think I still have this linked below if anybody is watching and wants to use this, where you can compare. We'll do Main Street Capital with Aries Capital. And why don't we go back, I don't know, how about to 2010? So we'll see on April 14th, 2010, if you put 10 grand into each of them, this is what you'd have. Wow. Main, come on, blow up. There you go. Everybody's like, I heard that Chicago accent from him. By the way, I got a bone to pick with Portillo's. You just reminded me to remind myself. Either way, so let's see. If you would have put $10,000 14 years ago into each, that would have grown to Main having 87,000 and Aries Capital 47,000. So very interesting. And this with dividends reinvested, that is. So you've got a 17% annual average total return for Main and a 12% for Aries Capital. So it just right from the get-go almost it's outpaced them. So actually we don't know if the future will continue like this, right? Past performance is not indicative of future results, but hey, looking at this, I think choosing Main is right. So yeah, Main. This kind of makes me want to just, sorry, Kip DeVere, the CEO of Aries Capital, this kind of just makes me want to just dump all my Aries Capital and put it into Main, right? So, okay, there we go. That's a drip returns calculator that we used. Close that. Oh my God, I freaked myself out. My screen was black for a second. So yeah, Gunny, that's what, wait, Mark Baum, not, was it? No, that's a different Mark Baum, right? And I haven't seen The Big Short yet. Can't be, the car we're buying, can't be the same Mark Baum, right? CEO of Hero. Let me know if it is. All right, I got to get caught up to you guys. What car have I been eyeing? The one my wife wants to buy. I think she was looking at a Volkswagen Atlas. I think it was one of the ones that she's been eyeing. So whatever she's eyeing is what, yeah, MPW, right? All right, Steve, I will look into that. Would you recommend buying now? We're waiting to see if it drops further. I think it might drop a little bit more. Just my opinion, just because of the nature of things with the Medicare reimbursement not being as big as they thought it would and whatnot. So it might, but it's probably at a good space to buy right now if you believe in it, because solid company, but yeah, lower reimbursement. I mean, that could squeeze some of their margins, and if they can't raise prices to cover that, that could hurt them. Shamir's Starbucks and McDonald's. Yeah, I've been looking at Starbucks, getting excited if it goes to the 70s. No, I did not see that Kevin has his own closing song. Well, as long as it's not Pee-wee, because Pee-wee's, I don't know. I'm probably one of the only people, and probably one of the only. You'd have to say like, no, you're absolutely the only finance space YouTuber using Pee-wee's Playhouse ending credits to end your streams. Oh my God, I'm too far behind all you guys. All right, we're gonna race to get caught up. The Hardley boys, they were detectives, yes. It depends, yeah, J&J, if you're looking at the free cash or the earnings per share, maybe. How is Kenview doing? I will just tell you what it is, what they give it, because I have not, to best of my knowledge, looked it up. And it's giving me a, here we go. I know, riveting. 70 safe with a 4.18% yield for Kenview. Oh, Qualtrim. How is Qualtrim? That's Joseph Carlson's jam, right? That's, yeah, I don't know what that would be. It could be a glitch, but honestly, we could just figure that out going to their, I'm not going to do it on the channel here. That would be boring as hell. Going to their annual report or going to their last filing and just do that. Yeah, Tad Talk. You got Go Navy. J&J's bought back 8% of all their shares outstanding. Yeah, that's a good way to look at Nathan. Hey, and I don't think I've spoken to you either yet, Nathan. What's up, man? But yeah, exactly. That's another way to return cash to the shareholder, right? And one of the beautiful things about it is you don't have to pay tax on it. It's going to increase your stake. I think Berkshire Hathaway, they bought their last share of American Express, I think it was in the 90s, somewhere in the 90s, and they had 11% ownership. They never bought a single share, and recently I think they're up to maybe 21% or 22%. They're in the low 20s. So that's crazy. That's what that does. So they're returning cash to you. The share price is going to hopefully increase if it's a good business, and you decide when you want to pay the taxes on that by selling if you want to. So that's a great point, man. Thank you for making that. Let's see. Oh, no. So, Paulo, you experienced that. I wonder how they would do that with the heart, breaking apart that stuff. So, they put you to sleep. Ah, that stinks. But hey, at least you got it taken care of. Yeah, Tattooed Chef. I do remember when that was all the rage. Now, that was when I remember looking at it and thinking like, well, they've never made money. It's pretty risky. And who was the one? He was on with Ryan, right? That was, I can't think of his name. I don't remember his name. The YouTuber, the bigger, Jeremy, the hat guy. Somebody I never liked the hat. I told Ryan, I was like, don't tell him, but I don't understand the hat. Like, I know you got to do stuff to stand out, but that hat I don't know what it is. It would bother me. I was like, take the hat off. Oh, dude, you're in Popeyes buying dinner now. Yeah. QSR, which is Restaurant Brands International, right? I am what I am. Good old Popeyes. Yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, Let's see. MPW announced that the board, they did declare the dividend. Yeah, I think there was some talk that they may not, but they did that on a Sunday? Sounds interesting. Reese, it's both. The answer is both. I'm 6'4". I think Ryan is, I don't want to speak for the man, but we'll say he's 5'9". We'll make him a little bit taller if he are. Yeah, QSR. Who is QSR? That is, so PepsiCo spun out into Yum Brands, which I can't think off the top of my head what Yum is. Yum is, oh my God. Are you sure it's QSR? I thought Popeyes was. So I have a fun little fact for you, so let me look it up. I think it's Yum. So who owns Yum? So Yum was Tricon, I think, and PepsiCo spun that out into Tricon. It became Yum Brands. And Yum is, I have the answer here for you. Okay, so you're right. Yum is KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, and the Habit Burger. So the fun thing with KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, next time you guys are in there, you'll notice that there's only PepsiCo products. That's because PepsiCo signed a lifetime agreement, from what I understand, with KFC. I knew they owned a chicken joint, right? So Popeyes is the competitor. KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut can only sell PepsiCo products. So that's kind of cool. That's just one more lifetime pipeline to keep those going in there. So, yeah, I forget what else is in QSR. But there you go. You got Yum and QSR both, yeah. Man, that fried chicken, don't do too much of it, though. It should be a treat. Treat it like birthday cake or something. I don't know. Don't eat it all the time. Yeah, again, shout out to Longacres, man. Very cool to see you there. Yes, he was talking about that recently. He's doing his ETF, his SCHD-like portfolio, tracking it, sharing on the podcast what he does. Jim, you may be right with Maine with their special dividends. I'm kind of racing here to get caught up with all you guys. They also oh, did they buy Firehouse subs? I did not know that, Nathan. Mr. Nathan Robert. Where do you hail from, Nathan? Please tell us. I need to know where do you no, oh, okay, hold on, I'll get to that with Andy Griffith, but yeah, but that's what you're gonna get, man, with that fried chicken, you know. It's tasty, right? You get, I swear they put crack cocaine in that stuff. Some kind of PCP, methamphetamine, something that just makes, makes all the receptors in your brain light up and crave it. But not too much. That's my tip for you guys. Not too much of that deep fried food, Once in a while, treat yourself. Treat yourself right. Maybe even treat yourself to something a little nicer than that. But hey, if you like it. So does it really use Andy Griffith? If he does, that's pretty cool. Because I used to watch Andy Griffith on reruns. People would say, what's a rerun? Ah, look at this, Steve-O. Oh boy, we got some hot words. They support genocide. Please do explain how they support genocide. Is this something to do with China? And I'm going to guess... what was that? Not in Darfur. Yeah, explain it, man. If you're still watching, Steve-O, let us know about them supporting genocide. Because that one's escaping me right now. Maybe I'm just ignorant. I have too much going on. But do share it, man. I'd like to see that. Yeah, it was Jeremy Lefevre. Olean Tattooed Chef. If a business has never made money and is not making money, that it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig, and you're taking a big risk, but it could pay off. So there's more risk, more reward, right? Okay, good. So I was thinking, really, Mark Baum was in that? Okay. Mark Baum character was modeled after. All right, that's good to know, because I was starting to think. Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. As I put in the newsletter, I'm reading The Great Depression, a diary by Benjamin Roth. And in 1936, he was saying how it's crazy that he said so many people back then in the 20s, they weren't satisfied with 4 and 5% yields. So they were looking for really high return investments. Nobody understood what they were. Most people, most retail investors, they would buy things on, hot stock tips, on things that neighbors or friends or, I don't know, at the dentist, that things that they would say they get a hot stock tip and they would just buy. Obviously, in October of 29, the crash happened. Then there was the panic. They sold. The bottom of the market was in 1932. So the market started recovering in summer of 1932, it started going up. And people felt a little more confident. So they would buy then. And the market just kept going up and up. And he saw it right again. He said, I'm talking to people. In 1936, he's writing this saying they're buying stuff just because of hot stock tip. And they're like, well, the market keeps going up. And, Northeast Airlines looks good. People are buying it. So to build on your point, that's the long-winded way, Shamir, of saying, yeah, always do your own level of due diligence. And I mean, think of it like a house, right? You wouldn't hear somebody say hey, there's a house in halfway across the country in a town you've never been to, maybe that's for sale. And you just buy it. Well, don't you want to know the price? No, just buy it and tell me what I owe. You would never do that. You would look at the type of house, what conditions it's in, what repairs it needs, who the owners were, maybe the neighborhood. Is the neighborhood growing, shrinking? I don't know. There would be a lot of things you would look at. So you kind of need to do something similar. And yeah, some people can get very granular in their stock research. And, I've gone down a few of those rabbit holes where I start digging in so deep for days and days. And then after a while, I'm like, I don't even feel like buying because I don't, it's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You can go too deep. And that doesn't just apply to investing, yeah? All right, moving along. They're switching gears. Again, as Ryan says, he needs to have a shirt that says switching gears with Ryan Williams. There you go. Yeah, and until further notice, Greg, PepsiCo is forever linked to Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, don't forget them, and KFC. Yeah, no one out pizzas the Hut. Oh, look at this. What's up, man? You're from, spent some time in Chicago, and now you're in Korea. That's pretty cool. I like to hear that. Okay, good. Subway will soon be serving Pepsi beverages, long Pepsi. Yeah, and again, don't drink Pepsi all the time, A couple times a week maybe. But hey, it's your life, honestly. Do whatever you want with it. I don't know. You want to take your dividends, buy crack cocaine with it? Hey, I wouldn't recommend it. I would strongly recommend against it, but again, it's your life, You can do what you want to do with it. Okay, here we go. What Israel's doing, obviously. That's interesting. I honestly haven't heard of people boycotting Starbucks. So, have they come out and said that they're in support of Israel? I'm pleading ignorance on this one. I don't know the. Yeah. So we did my new. You know what I'll do while I'm talking to you here? Let me pull up my newsletter real quick through ConvertKit here, and I'll show you what I bought this week, which was 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I know this is just riveting for all of you watching, but let me open it up here in a new window and then bring you guys along. So High Tech, I don't think I've seen you before, High Tech. Thanks for coming on by. So here's the newsletter today. It was kind of a rushed one because of time constraints and whatnot. Yeah, it's called Stop Buying Dividends. And the whole point of it was to just, buy the business paying the dividend. And I kind of reiterated it to you, but it's just a little short thing. So we received $7.66 in dividends from, and again, this is all free. Every week I share it, from Agree Realty. And the stock sold. There you go. We sold, I think it was in the Roth. No, it was in our self-directed IRA. We were down to 7 shares of Altria. Sold that and then bought, there you go, 20 shares total. Of course, we're not psychic. Wish we were working on it. Not there yet, of Johnson & Johnson, because I would have just waited till the 147s. So, but either way, it's a long-term hold. And I'm okay with buying it there. So 20 shares at $150. 5 Agree Realty. I think I said 7, right? At $55.61. 5 more Harrow Health at $12.65. And because I went to Vegas, 2 more shares of Vici Properties at $29.10. And then I do a couple things going ex-dividend. Procter & Gamble on the 18th. Colgate and CVS on the 19th. So that's what we bought. And we did a little bit of digging into the portfolio. So, yeah, there you go, High Tech. Hope that helps you. Yeah, that's interesting. I honestly don't know too much about this. I don't know what was said by Starbucks, but I don't know. Was it Laxman Narish their CEO, Laxman Narasimhan, right? He used to be CEO of Becton Dixon. Yeah, and the funny thing, they also, which would have been good, they didn't have mutual funds too, right? Or ETFs. They didn't have indexes. So it would have been nice if they did, but I think the equivalent back then, because he talked about, which I disagree, he says what ideally you want to do is you want to sell when things are really high, when people are offering you crazy prices above intrinsic value. You sell and then you sit on the cash and you wait for the bottom of the market crash or correction, and then you buy back in, repeat the cycle. But he talked in that interim, like you should have some portion in bonds and going to bonds. So I think that was their way of being safe almost 100 years ago, was either corporate bonds and big solid companies, or into government treasuries. But kind of like Warren when Berkshire bought Harley Davidson coming out of the financial collapse. They bought Harley Davidson preferreds because he said we don't understand the business, but so when you buy a preferred bond, the main thing you're hoping, if you hold it until maturation, is that they don't go out of business. Like, that's the one thing you don't want. And like he said, we don't know what Harley Davidson is going to do in the next couple years as a stock price, and we don't understand it that well. But I think, as Warren said, what we do understand is that we don't believe Harley Davidson is going to go out of business, because when you have such a rabid consumer of your product and they tattoo your corporate logo on their bodies willingly for well, they paid for it, but they're not paying you for it, for that privilege, then they're not going to go. So that's why they bought the preferreds in that case. And like Warren says, he's the chief risk officer at Berkshire, and they wanted some of their money working, so they bought a whole mess of Harley Davidson preferreds, which I don't know the ticker on those, but Harley Davidson's ticker, by the way, is HOG, and they're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, don't you know? Oh yeah, hey, they're way up there north in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They watch the Brewers and the Packers. It's terrible, I know. All right, at least I'm not. Yeah, I don't get the connection, so we'll see if Steve-O answered here. Yeah, Nathan, that's great, man. So there you go. You want to invest? You can invest. It's called the cycle. So you buy, right. UNH, people are born in it, and then you buy PepsiCo. People drink it, and it makes them not healthy, which is why you can't do it all the time. And then you're gonna need insurance, right? So I guess that's not the hospital. UN Health, well, you would use insurance, but you guys get what I'm saying. We're trying to build a lifestyle. Oh, that might be an idea for a video. That might be some. I don't know who would watch it, but yeah, like going from birth to, your kids, you buy Hasbro, Nintendo, and you'd use Kenvue for your baby products, Hasbro, Nintendo, toys and that, whatnot, and then maybe school supply stocks, and then I don't know where I'm going with this, but first car, Ford, or Tesla nowadays maybe, and then your junk foods and Starbucks. Oh, by the way, yeah, Starbucks I think is still number one amongst teens. There was I don't know if we'll have time for that. There was a Seeking Alpha report where every year for 47 years there's a study done with teens. And I was reading my 14-year-old or 15-year-old this, and she could care less. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, so there you go. And then, of course, the whole thing would end with, I forgot, it skips me. I did a video around Halloween time with a couple of the end-of-life stocks, like cremate. I can't think of their name. Carriage Services? I don't remember. Yeah, good. I'm not aware of that, so... you know what, man? I don't know. That kind of gets into like conspiracy theory. So you're saying Starbucks is a Zionist organization? I mean, I don't know, dude. I think that's looking way too much into it. It could be. I don't know, but they're pretty liberal. Aren't the liberals against Zionism? I mean, from what I understand, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not aware of that, quite honestly. So I don't know. I guess you short Starbucks. Short it then. I don't know if you think it's going to hurt them. You can make money off of it. Just go short Starbucks. Coca-Cola to start your morning. Oh, minute. Ooh, Clifford, my man. Be careful with that orange juice, because that has a ton of sugar in it. Sometimes more sugar than a soda. So, yeah, I used to love my orange juice too, but you gotta watch that. You're right, Dr. Pepper is KDP. Hey, Slayer, another new people. What's up, man? Good, cheap, or free places to get minute-by-the-minute market news throughout the day. You drive 8 hours a day. You find yourself using Hey, you're like me, man. I'm all day listening to stuff, but you need better options. So, honestly, I don't know if you have... it's not a podcast, but if you have... Sirius XM, there's a subscription. I have the free one. You might want to, sorry, that freaks me out. I get this, whoever hit the thumbs up, a bubble pops up with the thumb, and then I freeze, and I'm like, oh no, I'm locked. What was I saying? Anyway, Sirius XM, Bloomberg, right? Bloomberg news is pretty good for throughout the day, like all day long. They have a couple other channels. I think they might have Fox, but yeah, you might want to look into that. I don't know what a monthly subscription is. I have a lifetime. That was one of the smartest things I did way back in maybe '07, '08, in that time frame. They were offering a lifetime subscription for, it was like $300 or $400. And I remember thinking, well, I like this thing and I'm probably just going to keep using it. So I did it shortly after they nixed it, and they've kept me on. So I have SiriusXM for free, and I have the app on my phone. So it's very convenient to listen to some things. I want to get to the bottom of this, so I'm going to look for these before we get on out of here. But Starbucks sued Workers United, which is organized workers in at least 370 Starbucks stores, over a pro-Palestinian message posted on a union social media account. Yeah, you know what, though? I mean, isn't this like the Kevin Bacon 7 degrees of separation? I don't know. I mean, has Starbucks made official statements that they are... Okay, here we go. Okay, Dresh, thank you, man. Starbucks said it was trying to get the union to stop using its name and likeness, as the post also drew protests. So, again, bringing it back to Warren, this may not be an apple-to-apples comparison, but when he's made statements in the past in support of Planned Parenthood, people will say, like, Berkshire Hathaway or Warren Buffett of Berkshire Hathaway, and he's always said that it bothers him because he said, no, I'm CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, but this was me making a statement as a private citizen, Warren Buffett. Like, just because he is the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway doesn't mean that he has, relinquished his right to speak his mind as a private citizen. So you have to kind of know that there's a separation there. You know what I'm saying? Just because Warren Buffett, the private citizen, supports Planned Parenthood does not mean that Berkshire Hathaway does, is like what he was saying. So I don't know if there's some kind of correlation there, but yeah. Okay, cool, man. Thanks for sharing that CNBC has a free audio outlet. Yeah, honestly, I don't really listen too much to market news minute by minute. I'm not that much of a junkie yet, thank God. But you know what I do like? Invest Talk. I like Invest Talk. I don't know if anybody listens to it. I think they have a YouTube channel now, but it's the next morning. It'll come out in the evening, 5 days a week. But I like it it's usually the first thing I listen to. They kind of give a recap of what happened the day before and things like that. So, Pat, save this for next. I don't think I've really looked into SPYI. I know it's, is that the covered call? I don't even know, but yeah, let me know. We'll do that one later. Chick-fil-A, yeah. I wonder if you guys can see this. I wonder if those of you watching, I don't know where I'll find it. It's too late. It's too late to try and search for that. But yeah, it was a Seeking Alpha article, and it was linked. You could probably just link to, just Google teen survey. I think it was Piper Sandler teen survey, and you'll find it. Yeah, the stocks you support. Yeah, the birth to death dividends. There we go. Now somebody's going to steal it. The birth to death dividend stocks. That might be a fun one. Build a portfolio like Long Acres. Just build an ETF to cover the span of somebody from, conception to grave. And how do we start out conception? Maybe it starts with Diageo, Some people had a couple too many Guinnesses, and that gets the whole ball rolling on their recipe. I can't think of the word. I don't know. But yeah, the life cycle. There you go. Carriage services. I was close. I try to be on the healthy side. I do. On the weekends, I was just telling my brother-in-law this, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, hint, hint, Sunday night, I'll enjoy a few cocktails. And I used to every single night, 7 days a week, not much, maybe 1 to 2 drinks, but I cut it. So it cut my alcohol consumption by half. So yeah, and that's cool. I like to keep it a little copacetic here. Just we're never gonna call names and all that, but people can have their opinions. I have mine. We all have yours. I used to watch Zero Hedge or read Zero Hedge, but I don't know. I kind of lost. some of it was a little too conspiratorial with things. But it was interesting. It was thought provoking. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. I don't know, for whatever reason, I lost interest in that. And there you go. McDonald's, something we all do. You know what? I did eat. I'll end it with this, Shamir, and let you know, for the first time in, I don't even know, years, I had McDonald's because we were in a hurry to get to the Punk Rock Museum. We had tickets for noon and it was cutting it close. We were looking for somewhere to eat. And anyway, long story short, I was like, you know what? We need food and we need it fast. I'm really hungry. So we went to McDonald's. I had a Big Mac and it was good. It was good, but that was and I really don't eat that out that much. So anyway, so speaking of, that's good to hear, man. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, Nathan. I'm glad you liked it. And always, anybody, feel free to share any comments, concerns, questions, whatever. Email me, Russ at Dapper Dividends, or on Twitter at RustyRam78 or X, whatever the crazy kids are calling it nowadays. And as we touched on, talking about Kevin, and now you got me thinking, I got to look. He'll be on tomorrow night. Kevin Burgess. Monday nights is his live slot, right? We're a TV network. We got our slotted times. So, yeah, check him out. I'm going to see if he's doing Andy Griffith. You better not be pulling my leg. But I'm not pulling your leg because I thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate that you spend a little bit of your evening and some of the few hours you have in your life as a whole with me. Pleasant thought, I know. So this is how we end it. This is how we roll. We roll out with Pee Wee because I'm a kid of the 80s. So I will see all of you next week. Later.